Welcome to my video, The Last Supper, painted by Leonardo da Vinci, famous Italian artist from around the Milan, Italy area. And this is a fresco painted on a small wall in a small church. Lots of mysteries surround this fresco, theories, etc. I have studied a lot of them. I've watched a lot of videos. I've done a lot of research. And this is my own personal take on some of the secrets of the Last Supper and Leonardo da Vinci. I've been an artist for 45 years of my life. So I see a lot of things in paintings that, I've learned to see over the years. So here we go. Okay. The fresco is actually inside this church here, Santa Maria della Grazie, St. Mary's. It's in Milan, Italy. Translated into English, that's Holy Mary of Grace. That'll be very important later on. Holy Mary of Grace. This is Leonardo da Vinci, the painter. This is a self-portrait he did of himself. And he is the artist. Most people know who he is. Very famous artist. Leonardo was a poor man with no formal education beyond basically reading, writing, a little bit of math, and his father appreciated his artistic talent and apprenticed him at around age 15 to a noted sculptor and painter in around Florence area. Leonardo painted the painting using perspective. This has been studied in many videos you can watch, show the perspective. The whole painting is designed to be viewed from about 40 feet away, and the perspective ends up right at the center behind Jesus's head. The door in the front right here, this area right here, that's a door that's physically cut into the wall after the painting was painted. This painting is about 8 to 10 feet off the ground. So this is the doorway that somebody cut to go through there. But anyway, you can see the perspective how it goes here. Also, Jesus' hands are out, and from his head to his hands create like a triangle shape, which some think represents the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost. 1, 2, 3. And the circle of life. This is another shot of the continued perspective. You can see how it's almost done with windows. The ceiling, the walls, everything is in perfect perspective. Even these windows here are lined up with Jesus in the center. Everything rotates. Everything in the whole painting rotates around Jesus. Jesus is the exact center of this painting. Also, when he painted it, he painted each of the apostles in groups of 3. 1, 2, 3, this group. 4, 5, 6, this group. And Jesus is 7th. The next group being 8, 9, 10. And the last group being 11, 12, 13. The number 7 for Jesus is kind of significant because God created the earth in 7 days. Jesus arose on the 7th day. And there's other meanings to the 7. Also, a famous musician discovered that the placement of the bread and the hands in the painting create musical notes If you can kind of see the staff behind here, but these are musical notes. And Da Vinci, to hide his secrets back in the day, there were no computers with passwords or cell phones with passwords. So he wrote in reverse in a mirror. He would actually put a mirror in front of him, write on paper in reverse, so you could only read it in a mirror. And that was to keep people from stealing his ideas, his writings, etc. So the musician that discovered this notation here tried to play it forward, left to right, and it didn't sound right. But when he played it right to left in reverse, it's a beautiful melody. You can hear this song on YouTube. Look up The Last Supper song or music or whatever, and it will be there, and you can hear it. And these are the actual notes on the bars and staffs and what have you, and this is the actual tune. On this here, it would be read from left to right to play it. Leonardo was a very poor man with very little education, but he was a genius. Okay, now this is a zodiac chart with all the zodiacs, the sun, etc. You'll notice that the sun is in the middle, as Jesus was in that painting. And then all the zodiac signs, it starts right here with Aries, and they all rotate all the way around the sun and end with Pisces. Also, you'll notice that this area right here is spring, the green. This is summer, the yellow. And this is autumn, the brown. And winter, the white. When you look at the painting itself, Jesus is the sun in the center of the painting. The painting starts with Aries, the first sign of the zodiac. When it's in the Nisan spring equinox. The Last Supper is also known as the Nisan or the spring equinox, which starts on 3/21. 3/21 is the start of Aries. Okay, so you have Jesus in the center as the sun. He's also the Son of God. Then you have Aries starting the first 3 months here. Aries, Taurus, Gemini. Those are your springtime zodiac signs. Then your summer zodiac signs are Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. And if you notice, Virgo is the only female in the zodiac. But we're going to come back to this because a lot of people don't think this is a female. Right here you have a Holy Trinity, which is another triangle, which I'll go over in a little bit here. The Father, Son, the Holy Ghost. Right here we have fall with Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius. And then we have winter with Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. All these signs rotate around the sun. Also, the 7 in the previous picture is the number of days in a week. So that's why the 7 above Jesus' head is also very important. Here you have your spring, summer, winter, fall, 7 days a week, and these are your months. Each month is, of course, a sign. Artists in the past have drawn the sun and moon like this, male and female. In this painting here, you'll see Jesus is wearing red. A red base, his main shirt is red with a blue cloak. In this shot, over here on the left side, the other figure is wearing a blue main tunic with a red or light pinkish color cloak over it. If you watch the Da Vinci Code movie, they talk about this V being between the both, and they're like a mirror reflection of each other. Red, red, blue, blue, leaning this way, leaning that way. And this is the V here. The V stands for the female genitalia, the chalice, and this was thought to be the cup that all the crusaders sought years and years for, the special cup. Also, other people say it forms an M behind Jesus and this other figure. This is the V for the chalice. The M could also stand for Mary, or Mary Magdalene, as described in the Da Vinci Code. Here you can take another close-up look. Jesus wearing the red main tunic with the blue cloak. The female-looking figure is wearing the blue main tunic and this bluish or faded red, pink or faded red cloak. Now, in physics, the blue is considered a female negative. A lot of times you will see this with a circle and a minus sign for female. But in physics, that color is also blue, and it's a negative sign for female. The male is always positive. This is facing up, so that's positive sign for physics. Sometimes you will see this sign as a circle with a plus sign off to the side of it. That's for male. This is positive, this is negative. In physics, positive and negative attract each other. So they will pull together like a magnet and come together in the middle. And it creates this, a positive. Kind of looks like a Jewish Star of David. Jesus was Jewish and Mary Magdalene was Jewish. Here's another picture of Jesus with his head in the center of the window, the whole earth behind him. And this figure here looks very much like figures that I have seen in other paintings. If you look at the face very closely and the way the dress is on here, the tunic, looks very much like other pictures. Now they always say that this figure here is John, and that John is always painted in a feminine fashion in this painting right here. This is supposed to be Icarius, who betrayed Jesus, and this is him holding the bag of money right here, that he got the bag of silver for betraying Jesus. So there's only 12 people in the painting besides Jesus, which are the 12 apostles, with Jesus being the 13th one. But if you look here, there's a hand coming out here with a knife in it, as if to stab somebody in the back. And this hand is wearing brown. None of these three figures right here are wearing brown. And this hand does not line up with any of these figures. So the way I see it is, he's not even in the picture. He's in the background hiding, waiting to stab Jesus in the back. This was always mistaken as the bag of silver that he got paid. Maybe I don't know what that bag could be. It could be anything. Maybe it is the bag of silver. Like I said, I'm throwing this in the air, let you use your own judgment. But I know for a fact that this hand with this knife does not belong to any of these figures. Also, in other paintings of the Last Supper throughout history, this figure here next to Jesus sure looks like a female. If that's supposed to be John, that looks very female to me. This is a Spanish painting from South America. And this painting, Jesus, the figure next to him, looks very female. These are all different artists throughout history. Why would they all do this unless God was guiding their hand and having them paint it that way? That's the way I always feel when I'm doing art, that God is guiding my hand and showing me what to put on the paper. This is a statue of Mary Magdalene in France. If you notice, the face is very similar to the one in the painting. Very similar. This is a statue of Mary Magdalene. This is a painting of Mary Magdalene. Here she has a green tunic on with the red cloak. Still, same red cloak with just a green dress or tunic, whatever you want to call this on. The face looks almost identical to the painting in the Last Supper. This is a painting of Mary Magdalene, and I'm not sure who the artist was here, a famous artist here. Can't even hardly read it. Another painting of the Last Supper by another artist. This figure here looks very female. Jesus, figure to a different side of him here, but looks very female with the head hung. This is a painting of Mary Magdalene wearing blue with a red cloak. This is another famous artist from Europe. I can't remember his name either. This is another painting of the Last Supper by another artist, with this figure laying down next to Jesus with his hand on the back. Looks very female to me. Looks just like the female in the painting of the Last Supper. Here's a close-up shot. I would never mistake that for a man. There's no beard shadow. That's definitely female, and that figure looks very, very much like the picture in the Last Supper to the right of Jesus. This is also another painting of Mary Magdalene. This is called the Gospel Mary Magdalene. That's the name of the painting. But this painting also looks very similar. The face and the tunic looks very similar to the one in the Last Supper painting. It also looks very similar. All these pictures look very similar to another painting that's very famous. The Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa is also the most famous painting that Leonardo has ever done in his lifetime. This is supposed to be a painting of Lisa Gemelli or something like that. She was the wife of an Italian governor or some crap like that. But I think that this painting here is a painting of Mary Magdalene. It looks just like all the other pictures of Mary Magdalene, and it looks just like the picture in the Last Supper, the figure to the right of Jesus. Leonardo da Vinci was supposed to paint, if he was supposed to paint this for the governor to give to his wife, it never ever got finished and never got given to the governor. Leonardo took this painting to his deathbed and was grasping it as he died in his bed at a very old age. He never ever gave the painting to the person that supposedly he was painting it for. I truly believe that this is a picture that he painted of Mary Magdalene. And this face looks almost identical to the face in the Last Supper painting. Look at that face. Even though the head is tilted, the way the hair is, the line of the dress right here, the tunic, even has a little bit of the scenery in the background if she would raise her head up just a little bit. Once again, another picture of Jesus. And this is a self-portrait of Leonardo da Vinci that he did of himself at a really old age. And when I looked at this, I've always thought, man, this looks like somebody else too. All the paintings and pictures I've seen throughout the years, Leonardo looks like somebody else I know. Leonardo, even though he was a poor man, he came up almost in straight poverty. But he became very much of a genius. His interests included invention, drawing, painting. He was a sculptor. He was an architect. He was into science, music. He wrote music, mathematics, engineering, literature, anatomy, geology, astronomy, botany, paleontology, and cartography, whatever. I'm not sure what that even is. But there's people alive today that don't even do all this stuff. They might be good at one thing, maybe literature or science or music, or maybe even two of them. Leonardo was an absolute genius, and he had no schooling except for basic math and English when he was a kid. And you can imagine what kind of schooling they had back in those days. It was probably, 1 + 1 = 2. This is a famous quote from Leonardo da Vinci. There are 3 classes of people: those who see when they are shown, and those who do not see. Leonardo da Vinci. So I'm leaving it up to everybody else to, make your own opinion on this video. I'm just presenting it the way I've seen it for over the years. It's just amazing. Leonardo also drew the Vesuvius Man. Everybody's probably seen this picture. This is a mathematical problem that cannot be solved by pi. I forget exactly how it works, but it is a mathematical problem that the man can't fit into the circle and the square at the same time. And it is not possible to figure it out scientifically or with using math and pi. So Leonardo da Vinci drew it. The belly button is the center of the human man or woman. If you put a thing in there that draws a circle, I forget what you call that. You put the point in here and you draw the circle out here. The man perfectly fits into the circle. Here's his hand touching the circle. Here's his foot touching the circle. But when you put the square here also, and it lines up with the bottom right here, the man also fits in that. His head's here, his feet are here, and his hands touch both the sides. Leonardo said that man is in the middle between heaven and hell. So if you start right here at the belly button, this is where man is on earth. We're in the middle. Hell is below, heaven is up. Man is supposed to be in the middle, but some men, they go to hell, the hellish side, become criminals, thugs, thieves. The other people can rise up, help other people, be kind, generous, and go to heaven. So it's kind of a pretty cool thing. It's there's actually another drawing where he has God up here, heaven, birds, trees, and then it comes down to man's level. Then right here you have crime, demons, hell, and the devil at the bottom. But I thought that was pretty cool. Most people don't even know what the Vesuvius Man's all about. Okay, going back to Greek history. The Greeks had several gods, 10 of them or whatever. But the main god, the number one god, the god over all the other gods, was Zeus. He was the supreme god, the main god. To me, he kind of looks like Leonardo da Vinci. Even in this picture right here, kind of looks like Leonardo da Vinci. Here's a bust, a closer-up shot. Maybe a young Leonardo da Vinci with a beard. Here's another statue of Zeus. Kind of the same. This is major gods, and this is a picture of Zeus with lightning. God controls the lightning. This is a statue of Zeus at a temple in Greece with an angel in his hand, sitting on the throne. This is a statue of Zeus at Olympia. Looks very much like Leonardo, sitting on the throne, with a statue of an angel in his hand, standing on top of the world. You think maybe that could represent this is God and this is Jesus with the wings on top of the world? I don't know. But as an artist, it makes me wonder. Throughout history, all other artists have always painted God, pictures of God, just like this. Looks kind of like Leonardo. Gray hair, gray beard, mustache. Many of them. Here's 4 more. They all look like that. Why would all those artists paint it that way? Even Michelangelo, when he did the Sistine Chapel. Here's God. This is called The Creation of Adam by Michelangelo. This is the Sistine Chapel. This is God and the angels. This is Adam, and this is God breathing life into Adam by touching him. That's painted by Michelangelo. And there's a close-up picture of God. I'm not going to say too much more. Long white hair, beard. Here's Leonardo again. Self-portrait. And I put right here, was Leonardo da Vinci God on earth? As smart as the man was, all the things that he could do, the knowledge, the drawings, everything. Is it possible for a normal man to do that? Is it possible that God could have sent Jesus to the earth, his son, and then later decided to come himself? Not telling anybody. Nobody ever figured it out. Maybe Leonardo was God. Who knows? I'm not saying he was. I'm not saying he wasn't. But it's kind of coincidental here. He painted the most beautiful paintings, fresco, with all these hidden secrets and meanings and the horoscopes and the months and the weeks and everything in this. He was a genius. And this is a painting they just discovered that he painted of Jesus. This looks very similar to the painting of Jesus in the Last Supper. I think this just sold for millions somewhere. Anyway, that's kind of the end of my presentation. I'll leave it up to you to decide what you think. If I'm full of shit, maybe I'm right. Who knows? Nobody knows. There's only one person that knows. But it just amazes me that Leonardo was such a poor boy with no education who became a genius, an absolute genius, and has all these hidden meanings. And I mean, even the Mona Lisa has lots of hidden mysteries inside the painting itself. We don't even know why he didn't give it to the person he painted it for. Why did he carry it to his deathbed? I really don't know. All right. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it.